Good morning from beautiful Dauphin Island, Alabama. We are on a saltwater expedition today with Captain Kurt Charters. We have a big fishing day planned. I am super excited. We are about to run 100 miles offshore, so I will see you guys out there. Wish us luck. Alright guys, so first spot of the day, as you can see the oil rig behind me. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to be doing a little vertical jigging, dropping our jigs in about 260 feet, and we're going to be trying to catch some grouper here. The boys have already gotten a few bites. I'm going to drop down and let's see what we can catch. This morning, Victor left all of the jigs in the truck. And normally when I lose a jig, I don't feel so bad. But today, these are all going to be Ryan's jigs. So if I do lose them, I'm going to feel a little sad. But sometimes you just can't help it.
Real. Get a crank. Get a crank. Don't let him do it to you. Oh my God.
Oof. I got something good, guys. Right on bottom. It's a nice fish, whatever it is.
Give him the sauce, Brook.
This will be my first fish ever on slow pitch. And also, I've never been to Alabama before, so not only will this be my first time ever going to Alabama, but it'll be my first time ever catching a fish out from Alabama. Technically, we're really far offshore, but...
You're dead weight now?
Woo! It was, but now it's like fighting a little more. Am I getting eaten?
Mine was the jack previously. Swam up fast.
Oh, I just got ate.
You just got eaten?
Yep. So much for it being my first fish in Alabama. It looked like he was gonna give me part of my fish back there for a second. Sorry, Ryan, I'm gonna lose one of your jigs.
0 for 2 on the Ryan jigs.
Oh. Today our plan is to do this most of the day, and then towards the end of the day, hopefully get on some tuna. And to exhaust yourself at the very beginning of the day is not ideal. Let it be known that I whooped that shark's butt. Got it up almost all the way to the top and then finally broke off. I don't know why he couldn't have broke off at the very beginning, but had to tire me out first before it finally broke off. And I lost Ryan's jig, so it's one jig for me gone.
Another crank. Oh! That's a good fish. Let's go, Brook.
All right, I'm on again. We moved to another spot. We were catching a bunch of red snapper, and red snapper are not in season right now. We're just trying to weed through the snapper and catch some grouper. Ryan's on.
Nice. That bite was intense. That was sick. Oh my gosh, that was sick. Brook's on her line.
I got a grouper.
A good one. Baby. A good one. Yeah. Look at the size of that. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I went from a shark to a stud scam grouper. Heck yeah.
That's what we came for. Sick. Beautiful.
I'd say that's a solid first fish on slow pitch. That is my first slow pitch fish.
Oh my God,
look at that.
Monster.
That is my biggest scamp grouper I've ever caught.
That's the biggest
And
one I've
that
ever
is a
seen.
stud.
Have you ever seen one that big? I haven't.
I've never seen one this big now. Let me flip it around so you can see the jig. Heck yeah, baby! Check that out. Sometimes you gotta pay your taxes so you can catch a stud fish. So this is a beautiful scamp grouper. The biggest one I've ever seen, the biggest one I've caught, the biggest one I've ever seen landed on a boat. And that is just insane. These fish are absolutely delicious. Their meat is like, unlike any other kind of grouper species, they're just super delicious. A lot of people say they basically come pre-buttered. That's how good they are. Thank you.
Yep. And if you look at the back of it, they call it a broom tail. That's why.
This is a nice one, right?
Yeah, that's a fine one.
Nice fish, Ryan.
Thanks, Brooke. Appreciate you.
Job well done.
Are you trolling me now that you caught that big grouper?
No, it's a good fish.
All right. I think I detected a hint of sarcasm in the
No
voice.
sarcasm.
It's something of a good fish. So currently, Brook is top dog with, I don't know, it's like a 15-pound, 20-pound scamp grouper. Absolute
Magnum scamp
stud.
grouper.
Yeah,
I had to pay my taxes. First fish was a shark.
that's
Not
true.
everyone can catch a stud snapper as their first fish in Alabama.
But at least we got to take yours home.
Yes. And
So-
it's gonna be delicious.
That's a jack.
It's something. It's smaller than the first one, that's for sure. I just got another fish right on bottom again, right on the drop. This is much smaller than that scamp grouper was, so I'm kind of just cranking on it. It started out in the 40s this morning. Turned out to be an absolutely beautiful day out here. We have perfect weather. Yesterday, it was blowing, I don't know, at least 20 knots. And tomorrow it's supposed to pick up again. So we just literally got here at the perfect time to get some good, beautiful weather. So we got very lucky. Another
Scamp.
scamp?
The grouper king!
How
Say
big,
it isn't so!
how big do they have to be here?
16 inches.
16?
That's
Oh,
cheaper.
that's nice.
That
Yeah.
makes my other one still look small.
That's nice.
Woohoo!
He's a pretty little baby.
Mhm.
Y'all might ought to consider going to this jig.
All right. Second fish, another scamp. These have to be 16 inches to keep. And this is probably, I don't know, 20, 21 inches, something like that. So another keeper fish going in the box. That first one was hooked so well. Look at this. That hook was just barely in there. These guys always fight to get to the front of the boat, and they cast forward, and Kurt's doing a pretty good job of keeping us like right on top of the spot. So we're basically just jigging straight up and down the whole time, which is exactly what you want. We're not like really drifting off. Oh, Vic's on.
Come on!
Still on?
Yeah, it's still
The
on.
rod's just so stiff.
Yeah.
It's the deep drop rod.
So Kurt said little rock, but big fish potential.
We got a little rock and big medium fish
I
right now.
think I got little rock, little fish right here. I'm not complaining. I have just as much fun watching everyone else catch fish, especially when Brooke catches her biggest scamp.
Guessing it's either big snapper or maybe an amberjack, but sometimes they'll fool you. Sometimes a grouper will fight a good bit. Figured it had to be one or the other.
So what we're doing is we are just jumping from spot to spot. We'll stay at a spot for, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, depending on how the bite is. And then just run a couple miles to another spot. Captain Kurt has a bunch of spots out here. So that's what we're doing. So we just got to a new spot. I'm dropping down for the first time here.
How do you like slow fish jigging so far?
She hated it the first time she did it. I'd never seen a more miserable seasoned angler the first time Brooke tried slow pitch jigging. But we tried to do it with a spinning rod for her for some reason, and I don't think you like that at all. I don't know.
We also did it in like 1,000 feet of water. We were trying to catch golden tilefish. And we were in like 1,000 feet of water, and I absolutely hated it because the current was raging. It's just very different. I'm used to speed jigging where you're jigging really fast. So like this slow, like just letting it kind of flutter down is just new to me. So I'm just kind of trying to get used to it.
Brooks, like, I caught my scam. You guys can pull the rest of the weight. I'm done.
Come on, Brady.
Taking a little break. You got a double beeliner?
Yeah.
And a big one.
Good one.
That's a nice size one.
Oh, a freight liner.
So all day long, Mandy has just been working the electric reel, catching beeliners, red snappers, obviously letting the red snappers go, but she's been filling the box with beeliners. All right, well, the current picked up a little bit. We're in slightly deeper water, upgraded to heavier jigs, unfortunately. That means more work to jig because they're heavier. What is it? Got something to say? Well, we're at the deepest spot of the day so far. Woo! How deep are we, Kurt?
560.
So we
Wow, that's a
moved
long
deeper.
way up.
We're in 560. I just. Ooh!
You got a good fish, Brooke.
Yeah, she does. Grouper queen.
Ooh, baby! It wants to take drag.
Oh!
Brooke, you don't need to be in full.
Okay, okay. Oh, it's a good fish, whatever it is. Another grouper.
Double!
Oh, no, no, no.
Drop it back into his mouth. This is straight dead weight. And normally when something is dead weight, it's usually a grouper. They fight hard when they're on bottom. Up, 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 up.
Double!
Yeah! Doubled up with my babe. So Brooke was just saying to the camera, usually when it's dead weight like this and they're not pulling too much, it's usually a grouper. That's exactly what this feels like. This was the second hit I got at this spot. I'm hoping I get a nice cute double pick with my babe real quick with the grouper.
It's giving big grouper vibes.
I think Brooks is a giant grouper.
It
The
should be a big grouper. I mean, we catch 50-pound snowies here.
Holy moly, really?
Yeah.
Way to go, Ryan.
Come on, Ryan.
I
Someone
couldn't
needs to
read
physically
it.
look at me. Oh wait, that did something.
Let me go.
Hold on.
You bet.
Oh, I'm out. I'm out of you guys.
That fish should be floating up if it's a grouper. It should be floating
Yeah,
up
Brooks
out
is
here.
definitely floating.
Yep. Watch this big baby. He's fixing to blow up out here. Now y'all
Dennis?
get ready with these cameras. He's fixing to blow up out here.
What is it? What is it?
Oh my.
Come on, baby, come to the boat. Look at that.
Look at the size of that monster.
Have y'all ever seen such? Look at this fish. The grouper magnet.
Oh my gosh. That is quite the grouper.
I've never caught one of these
Oh
before.
man, that's a
Well, this is a baby one. What? I'll eat this one for you. They're terrible.
They're terrible.
Brooke, you are on fire today. That's all
So
I
this
got.
is a yellowhead?
Yes.
That's a
In
gorgeous
my
yellow.
opinion, this is the best eating fish
Even better than
in the
scale.
Gulf.
Holy moly.
Heck yeah! Look at that thing! That is a stud!
Wow.
Wow.
Look at them bulging eyeballs. That's incredible.
Heck yeah!
Wow.
That's a gorgeous fish. Has to be my biggest grouper I've ever caught.
Probably.
Another personal best.
Another personal best.
You guys
Alright, so this is a yellow edge grouper. I've never caught one before. But this is a beautiful fish. Kurt says it's his favorite eating fish. I've never ate one before either, so I'll have to find out.
Oh, I thought Kurt said he was gonna eat that one. For
Yeah,
you.
I think I'll take this
Oh
one.
no! Maybe I can have a little bite. Two of my personal best grouper today. My biggest scamp grouper, and then my first ever yellow edge, and it is a giant on a 400-gram jig. My first time really ever slow pitching, ever catching fish on it, and it is producing. Captain Kirk gets you on the fish. You guys are seeing it. We're filling the box with delicious eats. We are having an epic time. Come to Alabama, baby.
Welcome to Alabama.
Look at
He
him.
caught himself a magnum.
Look at that.
That's a magnum.
Is that your personal best?
Oh, he's big. He's not small.
Wow. It's a donkey, dude.
Look. What a donkey. Donkey Kong.
I mean, I would love to have that yellow wedge grouper, but that's still a hell of a fish. That's a fun fight right there.
Oh my gosh. Look at
Here we go. Look at that. Giant fish with Captain Kurt in Alabama. I'll tell you guys what. We have had the time of our life out here today. That yellow wedge grouper is the fish of a lifetime. Stud amberjacks, beeliners, pretty much everything you can imagine. All in all, a great time. You guys check out Captain Kurt's stuff, linked in the description box below.
Alright guys, well we've had an incredible day and that's only half of what we have planned today. We now have this giant oil rig behind us and there are tunas popping on the surface. We're going to do some tuna fishing now, switching it up.
Oh, got him! Got him!
Go Ryan!
You got him!
Woo!
Oh my god, what a foil, son! I'm shaking right now. Like the adrenaline just like hit me.
We already got people hooked up on tunas. They're blowing up all around the boat. It's gonna be an epic night of fishing. Look at this!
Pull that kid!
Oh!
Pull it!
Oh my
Pull it!
Ryan's hooked up on a big one. They're blowing up in front of the boat. I gotta put the camera down and catch one.
Come on, get a bad food. Come on, in the boat.
Come on, Captain Curtis! That is a freaky yellowfin, man. Look at the size of that thing.
Look at the sickles.
Oh my gosh!
Good job, Ryan! Look at that popper.
Kidding me? That was so sick.
So Ryan was here a couple weeks ago doing the same thing, popping for tuna, and he caught like a 150-pound big eye tuna. So he just caught like probably 100-pound yellowfin tuna. Just absolutely epic already. First fish in the boat. And we've only been doing this for less than 30 minutes.
That's a big girl right there. Get him, babe!
It's a cute one.
It's a cute one! It's something! Well, I just got my first bite of the day on the popper. It's definitely small, maybe a little skipjack like the boys just caught. The sun is going down.
I'll tell you what, this thing's
And we're going to be fishing into the night. As the sun goes down, the tuna fishing is only going to get better. So we're hoping to catch some during the daylight just to be able to show you guys so we don't have to do it by some lights on the boat. But we're just casting poppers right now. And we're seeing some blow-ups on the surface. Pop till you drop.
Works on the subsurface, on the stick bait.
On the stick bait.
I haven't
Small
caught anything
again.
on
Probably. Ooh.
Oh, tight drag, Brook.
Got a skipjack.
I got the drag locked on that rod. She wasn't ready.
Oh!
After all that work.
The hook just pulled, but it was another small skipjack. A little bit bigger than my last one, but I switched what I'm throwing. This is a subsurface. They're boiling on the
big.
surface.
That was big. That was big. That was big.
Go, Vicky, go!
There they are.
two. I'm on two.
Come on, buddy.
I got small.
Yeah, me too.
We're on?
Triple header. Quadruple header.
These little tuna, when they get straight up and down, look at my rod.
There we go.
I win.
Mine's bigger than yours. Well, the sun just went below the horizon. We have a beautiful sunset. It's getting a little cool, but it's a beautiful night out here. I'm excited to see what there is to come. This rig is so lit up that you can just see on the surface everywhere, every direction that you look. Tuna is blowing up on the surface everywhere. Ryan's caught a couple little blackfins. They're catching little blackfins on bait. But it's just kind of crazy just casting into the darkness and just seeing the fish blow up on the surface. Probably a little blackfin.
I got you.
Thank you, Ryan. Little blackfin on the jig. First drop down. It doesn't take long to catch one of these on the jig. Look at those peck fins. Woo!
Dude.
Even these little yellowfins, look at their sickles. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I've caught yellowfins in Panama and the Bahamas, and it seems like the biggest sickles they ever have are in Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I want to catch my tuna from now on.
So sick.
Look, he got it! He got it! Oh! He got it! Hold him up!
No!
Oh no!
Ugh. I've been throwing the popper for so long and I had yet to hook one. And I just had one blow up on it and eat it, and then the hook pulled. I grabbed Ryan's rod. He's been slaying. I think I like this popper. He knocked it out of the water. Well, I've popped a lot today. I caught some skipjacks earlier. I think I finally, did I just catch a yellowfin? I can't see it.
We got a yellow.
Yellow,
Wow.
yellow, baby,
I
yellow.
hooked him
There's a
in
little
the
gap.
I hooked him in the eye and he barely fought.
Oh, I got a fish on too. I got a fish on too.
We're getting ready to leave and I finally got my yellowfin in the boat tonight. Someone coming?
They're coming.
Oh no, you teased him!
Brooke.
Come on!
Don't get on the
Trying
cutting
to
board.
lose that fish for you.
You're going to see a hole in his shoulder. He pulled out.
Come on, get him, he's a nice one.
Swinging and missing over here.
You're going to see a nice hole, I'm telling you.
Woo!
That's how I hit him the
I got
first
a
time in the
yellowfin.
eye.
Look, I got him in the eye.
You got a yellowfin, Ryan?
No, it's a blackfin.
Got my yellowfin on the popper tonight. Took a while. I talked about popping until you drop, and my arm was tired. I literally go, Vic, my arm is so tired, I'm done. And then, bam, a fish blew up on it. But we had an absolutely epic day of fishing today. Bunch of grouper. We let go some snapper, caught some beeliners, and just tunas, as many tunas as you could just dream of. Just an absolutely amazing day of fishing out here. Couldn't have asked for anything better. We're about to end the night, run home, but what an amazing experience today was. Alright guys, as you can see, we are back home at the fillet table. It is time to fillet up my big old yellow edge grouper. I am very excited to eat this fish. I want to give a huge thank you to Saltwater Sportsman for sending us on that trip, as well as Captain Kurt. If you guys are interested in checking out more information about the Saltwater Sportsman expedition, I'll have that linked in the description, as well as all the information for Captain Kurt's charter, also linked in the description. Now, let's get to filleting. The knife I'm choosing today is a Dexter Outdoors 7-inch flexible fillet knife. So, let's get to it. This is definitely the biggest grouper I have ever filleted. I think it's gonna be a little difficult, but I'm ready for the challenge. So I'm gonna start with a cut by the head. Work around the head, around his gill plate, coming around, down just like that. All right, spin this baby around, and now we're going to start working our way down the fish. I am very excited to try this fish, especially since Kurt said it's his favorite grouper. I have always just thought that scamp grouper was the best, but we're gonna test that out today. I guess technically tomorrow when I'm gonna eat it. But as always, you guys can save 20% with my code BROOK20 on DexterOutdoors.com. I will have a link in the description. This is a big old chunk of meat. Getting over the rib cage bones. Whew, this is a workout. This big chunk of meat right here is heavy. Oh yeah, baby. That is some beautiful meat. When you fillet like a red grouper, there's a lot of blood and bloodline to it. This is just like the scamp grouper. I just actually filleted the scamp grouper, and this meat looks just like it. Nice and white, not a lot of bloodline. Beautiful meat. Gonna push this big guy over here. Get him out of the way so we can skin this up. I don't even know if this is gonna go. I'm gonna have to switch to the 9-inch Dexter. All right, so I had to switch to the 9-inch flexible fillet because this is such a big slab of meat that 7-inch wasn't gonna work all the way across. Oh yeah. Good thing I switched. We're barely making it through. Look at that slab of meat. Ooh, yeah, baby. That's gonna be delicious. Set it right back on this. Cut out our pin bones. I always run my finger down to see where they start. And there we go. So that's where your pin bones lie. Get rid of that. So normally with a big grouper like this, or even like a smaller one, you always want to get that cheek meat out. But Victor actually has a friend who wants this big old grouper head, so he's gonna cook it up and make a big fish head soup. We're also gonna break up this carcass and give him that as well, obviously after I whack the other slab off the other side. But normally you'd want to get that cheek meat, but there is so much head meat in this fish that you would be blown away if you made a fish head soup or anything like that, boiling that fish head down and seeing how much meat is in the head and the collar, all this stuff. So it's not gonna go to waste. Someone's gonna eat it. So I will see you guys in the kitchen. Hey guys, welcome back to the kitchen. We got our yellow edge all prepared here. These pieces are really big, really thick, hefty pieces. And so whenever I have like a thick piece of fish, I always want to bake it. So that's what we're doing tonight. We're baking our yellow edge grouper, and I'm going to make a homemade pesto sauce to put on top of the yellow edge grouper. So let's start with that first. As you can see, I have a whole basil plant here. I used to have a lot of fresh basil in the backyard, but the caterpillars got to it. So whenever I need basil for a recipe, if I don't have it outside, then if you buy it, I feel like it's cheaper because then you can grow more basil. So instead of buying it in those little plastic containers, buy the entire plant. You want to cut it like just before another set of leaves like this. So then you'll have a new basil leaf grow out both sides of that. Or you could even cut it down even further to get the next one. But the same thing, you want to cut it just before the next set of leaves. We gave our basil plant a haircut, and we have some parsley here that Victor used for a recipe last night. So we're doing, half basil, half parsley. Next thing that's going in is pine nuts. And a lot of times I don't bother making my own pesto at home. I just buy pre-made pesto because if you think about it, the ingredients to make your own pesto are quite expensive. Like, that is not a lot of little nuts, and they are expensive.
And I'm pretty sure this pack of nuts was what, $4?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Okay, next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add a little bit of mayonnaise. Do like a scoop of that. Then we're going to add some Parmesan cheese. If you got the time for freshly grated Parmesan cheese, then do it. But we're already getting to be pretty expensive here. Next, olive oil. I forgot to mention at the very beginning, there were 3 little cloves of garlic in there as well. So then lastly, we're gonna squeeze in some fresh lemon juice. Let's give this baby a good mix. Oh yeah, baby. Gorgeous. Ooh la la. It's more expensive to make it homemade, but it tastes so much better. So before we put on the pesto, we're going to salt and pepper the fish. Pepper. Garlic powder. We're gonna flip these over and season the other side the same way. All right, time for the fun part. Last thing we're doing before these go in the oven is we're gonna sprinkle a little panko breadcrumb on top of them. I don't think I've ever made fish that looks this color before, but we're ready for the oven. And my oven is set at 400 degrees. So last night Victor cooked the yellowfin tuna, and it was out of this world. And he made this rice pilaf, and he served it cold. So we had so much left over because we ate so much of that delicious yellowfin that we're going to have leftover rice pilaf for tonight. So there's that. I blanched some broccoli and then just did some salt, pepper, garlic powder on that. All right, guys, here is our final finished fish. Beautiful giant chunks of grouper. Okay, everybody.
Wow. So pretty, Brooke. Look at
You
this.
can come.
What kind of grouper is this?
Yellow edge grouper.
Alright, something new for us.
This is the one that's supposed to eat better than skin? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see a nod of approval in the corner there.
Well, it's fantastic. I wasn't even going to talk. I was just going to sit there and keep shoveling it in. But it's really like no grouper I've ever eaten before. It's just absolutely delicious.
Look at this. No knife needed.
Oh no, this is so tender. It is so good.
pesto sauce, huh?
No, it's delicious. It's amazing what Brook managed to make with this
It
grouper.
is amazing.
I had just as much fun and enjoyment eating this fish, because I can honestly say it was the best grouper I ever had, as I did watching Brook catch this grouper, because I got to be there. She just got into slow pitch jigging, and I'm super proud of her, because there's not a lot of girls who are willing to jig in 500 feet of water all day, and for her to pull up that monster of the deep, that fish of a lifetime, is truly special. So hats off to you, babe. Killer fish and killer dinner.
Thank you.
I took my first bite and I was like, this is insane. Like, so much flavor, super flaky and like nice. I'm like speechless. Like, there's nothing I can say that's gonna actually describe it, because it was just so good.
Wow, thank you.
I think someone else mentioned while we were eating like how spoiled we are, and it gets to the point where it's hard to come up with ways to talk about the fish we eat because it's all so good, and it's hard to say how good fish is in that many different kinds of ways. But they manage to keep upping their game and catching even bigger fish and cooking it even better than the last time. So it's pretty amazing what goes on at this table and in this kitchen.
Thank you so much.
Well, I mean, those two really said it all. We keep eating these amazing top shelf fish that, you know, the captain of a boat that fishes for life doesn't want to let you take it home. It's that good. But then you take that fish and you let Brook or Victor cook it, and now it's undescribable. It's, you know, it really is. We are spoiled, and I'm happy about that.
Well,
I can't wait to see the video. I see some really nice pictures, and I'm very excited about that. I love this fish. The fillets were so white and beautiful and flaky and delicious, and that little crunch on top just added to the deliciousness. I loved it. I think the fish there are really tasty. The two that we had were extra good. So, loved it.
thank you.
2 thumbs up.
I got a second plate. I figure I want to savor it because who knows the next time I'm going to get yellow edge grouper. Phenomenal. I know I'm going to get to take some fish home, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook the fish. Whereas Brook and Victor, what they do is like art. So it's never going to come close, but it's amazing. Well done. Another one, just incredible. Well done, Brook.
Thank you. Kurt had made a joke about not letting me take it home because it was his favorite fish, but I'm very glad that I got to take it home and share it with everybody because it was absolutely delicious. And yeah, we had the most incredible time on this trip. If you guys are interested in booking a charter with Captain Kurt, I'll have his information linked in the description like I had said before. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.